I got some AT anger to work out. I think you got me 4 times last game.
Really?
Well, I was in the truck a lot. You did like to blow the truck up. I got some AT anger to work out. I think you got me 4 times last game. Well, I was in the truck a lot. You did like to blow the truck up.
Check.
Yeah, I hear you in game. I'm currently tabbed out, loading the Twitch.
Milkshake brings other boys in the morning. Yes, sir. But yeah, we can't sing because we're on YouTube now, so he's gonna get fucking demonetized.
So should we watch the Twitch or the YouTube?
They're the same.
I see a red screen that says AIM training seminar with open source music.
Yeah, I can see it on YouTube.
All right, all right. Welcome to the AIM training seminar. I am Dbl0Douche. I'll be your instructor today. This course will show you some of the basic tips for improving your aim and building muscle memory, from being able to pop out from around a corner on target and dropping your enemy to being able to fire, to being under fire and being able to snap 90 to 180 degrees and taking your targets down. We'll also discuss how game servers process information and how to use a net code to your advantage. These tools have helped me for years, and now I have a chance to share them with you. I've made this video before, but there was a couple things I wanted to do to add to it and update everything. So here we go. My name is Dbl0Douche. I've been an SPS gamer for over 20 years, probably like 25 years now. I was ranked #1 in the world for engineer score in Battlefield 4. I have over 3,000 hours at this moment in Hell Let Loose, actually 3,045.9. I'm original Kickstarter backer, and I've been playing this game since before it was available on Steam Early Access. I am one of the most experienced squad leads in game, and today I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks on how to build your muscle memory and hone your skills in any FPS game, not just Hell Let Loose. So we're going to go over a couple things. We're going to talk about building muscle memory. We're going to talk about your mouse settings, and then we're going to talk about a few exercises that you can use in game to help hone your skills. And we're also going to touch on a little bit of Aim Lab, because Aim Labs actually wasn't a thing when I made my last video, and it's a great tool, so we will give that a good mention here in a little bit. So first, we're going to talk about muscle memory. Muscle memory is the most important thing that no one thinks about. It is the reason why we get better activities when we practice. A few tips that can make it easier to improve your aim in game are literally very simple. It's get comfortable, sit straight up. You want to make sure you have good posture while in game. Make sure you're sitting at a comfortable height with your chair and you're always set at the same level. Make sure your keyboard, your monitor, your mouse, and your chair are all in the same location all the time. This is a big thing. It helps you, if you're sitting in the same exact positions all the time, you can easily develop all this muscle memory. So we're going to open up right here. We'll get right into it. First thing you're going to do before you even open Hell Let Loose is we're going to open our settings. I have mine on my taskbar here, but if you do not, you just don't know where it is, just open your thing here, type settings.
You're not showing anything on the YouTube, by the way.
Same.
Hold on. I'm not showing anything?
I see your desktop now.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go in, like I said, first, before we even open Hell Let Loose, we are going to go in here, if you don't know where it is, and type settings into the search bar. And just open your settings app for Windows. You're going to click on devices, Bluetooth printers, mouse. And you're going to go down on the left bar here and click your mouse. It's going to bring you to this screen. It may be, depending on the size of your screen, it may be underneath over here on the left, but you go over to additional mouse options right up in the right corner if you got a larger screen. Click that and it should open this little window for you. This first screen, the only thing we're going to go in here and we're going to mess with the speed. We're going to make sure that this is dead in the middle right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be on your 6th tick. That's the exact middle of all that. And then you'll just go through right here and we're going to go to pointer options. If you have this box checked, enhanced pointer precision, let's take that off. You do not want this. This is going to make it near impossible for you to actually develop any kind of muscle memory. And again, you have your pointer speed. Make sure that is there, which it should be on the other. Oh wait, that was the polling rate. I'm sorry. Your double click speed. Yeah, pointer options is where you want to do the speed thing. My fault. And yeah, make sure that pointer option, enhanced pointer precision, is off. Hit apply. And those are the settings you need right off the bat from your Windows settings. Now you go to your mouse settings. Now, typically, even in professional games, FPS games, most players play with around 600 to 800 DPI. Go any faster, and you sacrifice your in-game accuracy. You go any slower, then you just won't be able to move around fast enough to be effective. You'll get shot at and be fighting and having to move across your entire mouse pad just to make a simple shot and save your ass. So when you go in, like you have to go into your mouse software. Everybody's got a lot of mouse software. Some people don't. If you don't worry about it. It's all right. Then the game will just take your raw input. If you do have the software, come on in and I set a couple. I have it like max for 800, and I have a couple other profiles going down to 600, depending on how I'm feeling for the night. Or sometimes during games, like if you're using, say, an M1 Grand. M1 Grand pulls up a lot slower and it's kind of a little bit more clunky to move around compared to some of the smaller guns like an SMG. You take an SMG, you might notice that you move a little faster, like your aim feels a little quicker. You can whip that gun around and get ADS a lot faster, so you may not want it as fast as 800, but that's a personal preference. Some people change it, some people don't. I very rarely change it. It usually just sits at 800. So from there, we go in and we'll just open up Hell Let Loose. And we're all going to jump into a server here and go over what I do at the beginning of matches to help set up my mouse DPI, make sure I'm on track, and then just warm up for everyday games. Just give this a minute here. And while this is loading, does anybody have any questions about what we just talked about?
Does it make a difference if you have a hardware DPI button on your mouse instead of the software?
I don't think so. What do you mean? Like you have a? What do you mean by that? Like you don't have software for your mouse?
I don't have software, but my mouse has a physical button to set the DPI the mouse emits, and then that goes into Windows. So I imagine it multiplies differently.
Yeah, I'd recommend trying to get some software for your mouse.
You can also find out, there's websites out there that you can find your DPI as.
Yeah, you can go in and it makes it real quick to do all the measurements and like all the...
No, it tells me what my DPI is.
Oh, okay.
500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000.
Okay. Is there no way you can change those?
I can change them on the fly with an external button on the mouse. I'm just not sure how that works in Windows.
Well, no, I'm saying those buttons themselves. Like, not the buttons, not change change the DPI settings of those individual levels.
No, not with this mouse.
Okay. You might want to check and see if there is some software you could download with it or whatnot, because 500's a little low, even 600's a little low. That's like the low end of what you should be kind of rocking with. So just a thought. Okay. But a lot of times, a lot of these mouse whatnot, you might be able to compensate for it by going up to 1,000 and dropping your in-game sensitivity significantly. But also, like I think Lost said, they have sites where you go like find my DPI on my mouse or whatever, and like they can help you fine tune it for you a little bit, get kind of exact readout for you.
Oh, I see. So those sites tell you what your effective DPI is after all of the settings and hardware come together.
Like if you try to set up your Windows settings, then you try to set up your software settings, but you don't have the software for the mouse, and then you go set up your game settings and whatnot. It depends between those what you're actually going to get for a DPI. That site right there kind of helps you really know exactly how many inches on your mouse pad. Like if you move 1 inch, it's going to tell you exactly how many pixels you move on screen.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. So we're opening up. We're going to jump into the server here. Any other questions? Yeah. All right. So we're just going to load in. We're just going to hang out. We're going to spawn at the middle deployment, and we're just going to hang out there real quick. We can spawn on United States. It's fine. Oh, sorry. Air commander. Okay. Unit. Yeah. Center spawn. Be there in like 5 seconds.
I can swap out a command if you want.
No, you're good, dude. It's all good. All right, well, we're setting up here real quick. Just before I made this video, Aim Labs wasn't a thing. Aim Labs is an awesome program that really allows you to fine-tune your aim, gives you suggestions based on your patterns and how you play, on how to improve. They have some great exercises. The ones I recommend for Hell Let Loose in Aim Labs are Grid Shot, Scatter Shot, Stick Shot, and Spider Shot. They're all games that will allow you to work on your overall flicking skills and just acquiring a fast aim and target selection, target acquisition. You can maybe practice a couple of the tracking ones, but don't worry about the ones that focus on hitting a moving target, because they're all hit scan. The game's hit scan, so it's gonna maybe mess you up from playing a game that doesn't. That actually has ballistics, so it's not really gonna do much for you.
It's magic. You know.
So, all right, looking in. First thing we're gonna do is when you load into a game and you want to send to yourself and get ready for a game, just you stop. And what I like to do is, instead of looking on screen like this, I like to ADS, but look up at the sky. Find yourself a clear spot in the sky. This way your eye isn't really attracted to any kind of object and tries to lock on. What you're trying to do is center your view, like you focus your physical eyes on the center of that reticle on your aim post sight, and that's where you look on the screen the whole time. You never take your eyes now off that point wherever you look in game. So when you want to look at something, even if I want to look from one left side of this trench to the right side, I want to move my whole mouse. I want to look and cover the area with my mouse. And like when I come around the corners and do this kind of stuff, I'm looking at the points where people may come out. This way, this builds a muscle memory that when you go up to aim and like you see a trench, your mind already knows what to do. You're already up on the edge, right where you can shoot at them, and right where somebody would come into view. And then when somebody does come into view, your muscles instantly know what to do. There's no fighting over it, and you just aim, shoot, kill. So please hold the fire for a bit. All right. From there, you want to find a building, an object, anything that's roughly human, like eye level, just so you can get about the level of a person, or just a decent size to be able to lock on. Right now I'm going to pick the star on this side of this tank right here, and I'm going to back up a good maybe 15 meters from it or so, give myself a wide area on the left and right so I can kind of do a half circle motion. So I'm going to aim in, and I'm going to point at the center of this star. And from here, I'm going to strafe left and right. I'm going to start with the right this time, but I'm going to try to keep this aim right in the center of that star as much as possible. Now, you go one way and then the other. Now, if you're fighting to like, now say if I'm going like to make my adjustments to get back to center like I'm doing, and I go way over here and I keep going, my DPI sensitivity is way too fast. And I should lower it down a few percent in game. Don't touch your mouse settings on Windows. Do this in game. And I recommend 2 to 3% at a time to just not make it too extreme of a change. You just want to do micro increments to adjust your aim. This is a nice fine-tuned setting. So you do that for a couple minutes, and you just aim at that center of that star, and you adjust left and right, and you try to keep that as much as possible on that thing. Now, you might need a couple minutes when you first start just to get warmed up and just to be able to track right on there when you get into game. And like I said, this is something you can do, like especially in competitive matches when everybody's building nodes and shit like that, and you're not one of them people. Boom, real quick, you got 2 minutes before the truck takes off. Pick that star and try to hold on it and just strafe back and forth, back and forth. This will help your tracking and target acquisition in game, like hitting a moving target as well. So you'll be able to smoothly track that target and get them on a good shot down, like when you go to finally take the shot. So from there, in game, when you didn't want to go into aim labs and you don't want to spend that time real quick just warming up, and you want to do it kind of on the way to the point, there's always that spot where you got to run even a couple 100 yards on the way into the point. You just run and you kind of pre-pick a couple targets, but you don't want to pick them early. Like right now, I wouldn't want to run up and say pick this tree. I would run up and then just make my decision as things go out of view and say pick the tree, and turn around, put a couple shots on that tree. Put it at about head level or around somewhere where somebody was. Don't even pick the center of the tree sometimes. Pick the left or the right of the tree where somebody might be laying or kneeling or leaning over to the left or right. And don't stop there. So when you're running and you snap to that first target, boom, snap to the tree, put your shots, immediately snap to something else, like say this fence post over here, or the the little hay or the log pile, and snap to one of the posts right there and try to put a couple shots on that. Pick a couple targets to try to get yourself to boom, put a couple rounds on one target, drop a couple rounds on the other target. Try to get as fast as you can. And I haven't touched my mouse all day, just come from work, so excuse the sloppiness of that. So But yeah, basically just pick a target. It has to be anything. Like this little window we're running past right here. Just get like past it. Make sure it's at least 90 degrees. Turn, put a couple rounds in it, and keep on going. And that's just a quick practice. And you can do this while running up to a thing. And now if you're running into a game, you don't necessarily want to give away your position or anything like that. So you don't pull the trigger. Just literally run through and snap your aim onto a target. Like right now, boom, snap to the gutter. And just try to put that aim on the gutter as fast as possible once it gets to 90 degrees. Focus on snapping 90 degrees to help build that extreme snap on people. This happens a lot when you're running through an open field or whatnot. Usually the fire is coming from an adjacent angle like that, like a 90 degree angle. So that help build that muscle memory, and sometimes even just go a straight 180. So if I'm running, boom, turn around, boom, put a couple shots on the gutter, whatnot, and try to do a straight 180 for that, you know, that person that comes behind you. And if you keep practicing this, eventually, I used to do this in Battlefield, Call of Duty, all this kind of stuff. You keep practicing this, all of a sudden you start getting those shots from behind or suppressed from behind. You get your map awareness and you realize where that's coming from, and you are instantly able to react without even thinking. Once your muscle memory is built, it'll be a subconscious reaction to where you start getting shot and you'll instantly just turn, fire, and you'll start surprising the shit out of yourself because you'll just start dropping people without even realizing they were really there consciously yet. So,
Question.
go ahead.
So mechanically, when you're doing, say, the strafing test, are you pivoting like on the side of your wrist, or are you moving your whole arm?
Okay, that is a personal preference for me. I kind of have my arm braced on the arm of my chair, and then there's about 6 to 8 inches or so, I'd say, between the my elbow. Well, my elbow sits about halfway on the armrest, but there's about 6 to 8 inches. I mean, this obviously depends on somebody's frame. My arm of my chair sits about 6 to 8 inches away from my computer desk with a slight rise because I rest my wrist on my desk, and it allows for me to like just sit my wrist on the desk, and I have it kind of cocked at a slight angle, which is kind of weird for some people. So it's not straightforward, but from right there, that's how I do it. My elbow's supported and my wrist is supported at 2 different spots. So I just make sure my chair and everything is sitting the same way all the time, and I get my arm comfortable to where I set it down on my armrest and my hand falls right where I want it on my desk, like right at the base of my palm wrist, and my hand fits perfectly on my mouse, if that makes sense.
Does your fingers drag on the mouse pad at all?
Yes, my pinky has a slight drag, and sometimes for very fine movements, I try to fight from doing this, but sometimes for very long distance and 5 movements, I'll drop my pinky down purposely and just give myself that real fine aim to where I don't have any over aim or anything whatsoever. But that's a very rare thing. You don't want to do that too much because that's going to slow you down a little bit. You can get used to a little drag. Again, it's all muscle memory. If you're used a little bit to your pinky dragging, I am, then you get used to that, no problem. And it's just a quick pressure thing when you want to really just fine tune that aim. And then, you know, lay off it right when you want to go back to normal. So like when you're acquiring multiple targets and whatnot. So basically, using these simpler tricks, I've gone from wondering how the hell somebody was able to drop me after I've basically had to drop on him. His back was pretty much turned to me and all this, to being that person who's able to walk around a corner and drop 3-4 people before they've ever even realized I'm hardly there and can't react to it hardly. So you can practice these skills in any match, and Aim Labs is free. You don't need any money. If you want to contribute, they offer they have a donation thing and whatnot, but it's completely free. Great exercises to help. And once you get these things down, you're able to just build the muscle memory to where, like I was saying, you want these things when you go to aim on somebody. You don't want to aim and then be like, oh, okay, and then consciously say to you, okay, the aim's on there, and then pull the trigger. You want it to be a subconscious thing that your body is so used to that you just turn and bam, shoot. I didn't want to shoot you, so aimed at the little rock here. But yeah, you want to literally turn, and sometimes I go into matches after like going into Aim Labs and warming up and doing my little warming exercises, and I will go in and I jump around a corner and drop 3 people, and I'll surprise myself because I consciously didn't even see somebody in there. Like I'll snap to him, get a headshot, and then snap to somebody else, and it's like I'm barely even registering consciously that I just saw that person and tried to aim there. My hand just does it. That's what you are. That's the goal of what you're trying to do here. So that's it. Thank you, everyone. I hope these tips are a big as help to you as they have been to me. And again, my name is Dbl0Douche, and I look forward to seeing you again in the field. So thank you. Is there any questions? All right. Well, I'd say let's go blow some shit up and have some fun.
Double, did you talk about the part about looking at your reticle only?
Oh,
and
yeah.
covering the target with it?
Okay, no, thank you. Good shit. We will do that. That's one thing. This is like kind of a military tactic too. If you're in the field and you're moving and whatnot, the reason why I said like you look up to the things, one, so you have a clear background and your eyes not focused on grabbing anything. Because if you do it like just looking off into the environment, your eyes instinctively gonna lock onto some physical object there, and you're gonna get thrown off when you start, you know, looking around. You want to look up at a clear background and put your aim up, and then you just look down and you just focus on that reticle for a good 10-15 seconds. Just get your eyes locked in there. And now, quite literally, like everywhere you go, like when you come up to a corner like this and you want to peek, you don't, when you come to the corner like this and you start working in, you don't want to take your eyes off of your aim and start like looking to your left over here. You do not want to take your eyes off of this reticle. You want to physically just move your entire reticle over here, and not just moving it over and just like moving over and like looking down at the ground like this or anything like that. You want to be pointing your gun where somebody's going to pop out. Like somebody might pop out of this little hedgerow, so you hold your gun there. Somebody might pop out from behind that hedgerow, hold your gun there. Somebody might pop out from behind this building over here or around that wall, just hold your aim there. That's where you want to hold it. You want to hold it at the danger areas. So if somebody does pop out of that zone, you do not have to fight. But like you come around the corner and now I look left with my eyeballs and not my aim, and I see somebody at the corner of that hedgerow. Now from the moment I realize he's there, I now have to re-establish my vision lock on my center point and then draw my aim over to the point where the enemy is. So you will lose valuable time when this happens. All right. And now there's one more thing I did want to talk about, and this is the advantages of netcode and the way servers process information. Now, servers, especially in an FPS game like this, ping is so important because everything's happening so fast. And there's a way the servers prioritize information when you're in a game that when you are sitting still and you are putting less input into your keys, so you're putting in less movements and you're not moving around on game and whatnot, the server itself is going to prioritize your movements less than somebody who is moving. Now, how this translates is if I'm just say camping around this corner, nice and still right here, watching to the west, and somebody takes Yuso out and comes streaming around the corner, and I try to shoot him as he comes through, if his aim's fast enough and I'm literally just sitting here still, the server is going to process his movements and his shots from his gun before the server will mine. These are very split-second things, but they make a huge difference.
Yeah, we're doing a training right now.
Doing a training, bud. You're welcome to hang out here and watch, but yeah, we're just doing a real quick training here.
Oh,
So how do you combat that?
How do you combat that? It's
Move more.
so if you're holding a position like this, you want to make sure that you limit the enemy's ability to get a clean shot on you. So you're going to want to be behind as much cover as possible, limiting whatever silhouette you give the enemy to shoot at. So if I'm behind that log, behind this log, I want to be as unvisible as possible, so when he comes around that corner, chances are he may not see me, but I may not have a shot until he gets a little bit further around. So whoever's behind me counting on me to hold that corner might be at a bit of a disadvantage or whatnot, but by then he may have already taken them people out and you're the last resort holding this corner. So the only other way to counteract that is to be moving faster. Also, this is why in Call of Duty, like you see the gunfights all the time. Like if I come up to air right here and I get into a gunfight, what do you see? This. You see two dudes strafing at each other and shooting. They're trying to cram as much information into the server as possible and to stay moving as much as possible. One, yes, to avoid enemies' bullets, but you're kind of exploiting the netcode lag a little bit by the fact that when he's moving to his right here, the chances of me locking on are a little bit more diminished with the netcode lag. Now, if we're both doing it, it's harder for him to do it to me too. So we're both trying to exploit the thing. So instead of standing still and just taking my shot at a target, I am shooting at somebody who is one moving, so the chances of me locking on and getting that shot are less because, you know, he's moving and I may miss. And now the server may process, so if we shoot each other at the exact same time physically in the real world, that he might actually get the kill because the server's going to process his a split second sooner. So instead of trading, he just gets a little bloody injury or just a unregistered shot where you see a blood come off somebody and whatnot, and nothing happens to them, and they don't die, and they don't even have to bandage. That's a netcode problem because it's having problems processing the information. I don't know what's causing it. I know it's not like, you know, somebody doing something like that in game to try to do that. It's just happening because they're moving at that moment too, and there's some kind of processing issue between the actual hit detection, you know, and the netcode.
Excuse me real fast.
Yep, go ahead.
I just joined in. I had to walk my dog and it made
Yeah,
a big
no problem.
Yo,
what
what's up,
server are you
man?
guys on?
Can you
We're
hear
on
me?
our server.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you guys
Yeah,
know,
baby.
it's seating. It's
We're in a
almost there.
trading.
So what would I type in? The
What are we
GOA?
doing?
Garrison's and whiskey, yep.
Yeah.
Can't believe you got your mic work.
But yeah, that's it.
Only 3 of y'all here on Keratin.
Anybody have any questions
Where
about
you
the
at?
netcode lag?
Dude, you're on the point of law. I can't get there yet.
Not at the moment, but that was insightful. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is comes into really big effect when you are in close quarters. So if you're holding a building, like inside a room, you get that dude that comes up the stairs and comes through a door on you, and you have the drop on him, and the bullets seem to hit him, and all it does is injure him because like only one
Yo, Al,
bullet
I didn't
registered
even know
instead of
you
2
were
or
on
3.
this.
It's because he came through that door and the netcode
You got
lag
on
was on his
secretly.
side, and the computer server is actually processing his movements first, and that's why you got dropped.
Are there any games or engines that do this well, in your opinion, or like are we
It's-
specifically it's a generic problem or like an Unreal problem?
It's a regular
Yo,
thing. Like
Alex.
this is just how servers in general will process information like that.
Alex.
It may be
Hello,
a little better or
Patricia.
worse on
Hello.
other things. On sorry, these people in my thing, but it may be a little better or worse on like different games and whatnot. This game has gotten a lot better, especially since the last update where they cleaned everything up and whatnot. But
They got me with
it
our
depends on the
server.
size. The more information the
Got 'em
server
with
has
the
to
RDL.
process, the more problems
We
there
need
may
Garrisons.
be.
Our
And why,
commander's a
in
noob.
my opinion, I'm not like an expert, but that may be one of the problems they've had in this with working out some of the things, because like when they've added the ballistics, that's just a lot more stuff to process for the computer and the servers before it actually gets registered to you in game, and that, you know, could cause problems.
Dude, let's go to a different server. Let's go to a server where people.
A slightly different question. So when you're practicing your snapping,
Alright,
are
bro,
you
let me know.
practicing headshots or center of mass?
I always and never discourage practicing headshots. Headshots are great. You always want to try to hone your skill and whatnot. I practice if you're intermediate, beginner level. If you're like beginner level, intermediate, whatever, go ahead and practice for whatever makes you comfortable and you want to get on target and be consistent with being able to drop people, then go for center mass shots, like center mass upper torso. You're confident. If you're confident and you're an experienced player and you're feeling real confident in your aim and you're able to, you know, get those good couple shots on people when they come around corners, and like just you feel at that level that you're no longer a beginner, test yourself. By all means, start going for headshots and trying to fine tune your aim. Remember, the trade-off with this is, and why I say this for newer players, going for the head, you miss, it's more punishing, because if I miss a little bit going to the body, I still might get a shoulder shot or I might get a stomach shot. I miss going to the head, chances are I just miss completely and expose my position. All right. So yeah, if you guys want, we can go practice kind of shooting. If you're not used to, one thing I'd like to do, especially with the competitive group and whatnot, is practice pushing our engagement envelope past your comfortable levels. So I would like to try to get people used to and comfortable engaging people at ranges of up to 250 to 300 meters as a comfortable engagement range. 100 meters to 150, you should be able to pull off accurate shots and kills when things are if you're on your game and whatnot. I've been effective with the grease gun up to 100 and 150 meters. Not recommended, but it can be done and whatnot. The reason I'd like to do this is because if you can pull people out of their comfortable engagement ranges of 100 meters, 150-ish meters, and push them out to 200 to 300 meters, they are going to be out of their comfort zone, and you're more likely to get the kill, even if you miss your first couple of shots. One, it's going to take them longer to find you, and two, they just may not be comfortable at putting down fire at that range on people, to where you can start getting more comfortable. Yeah, where's 3? We're gonna shoot at 3 first. Come here, 3. Where are you at, 3? Oh, he's on the other team.
You want to try it with me?
Yeah, you can go ahead there.
Alright, where do you want me to go?
Let's see, right about... No, hold on, I'll put, what is that? You can see that move marker out there?
Yeah, I can.
Alright, we can use like 220, 250 or something for this, that's fine.
I'll also switch class. I mean, I need practice with the MG and then just aiming in general.
Okay.
Distance.
Alright, yeah, they actually changed aim. You actually know what? Let's move here to my move marker. This is a great long stretch of road that's perfect for us for all this.
Alright, I'm heading
Instead
that
of
way
these,
right now.
yeah, instead of all these hedgerows and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of the rest of the aim training there. If only one small tip that helps you, then I've done my job. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
that concludes basically the main video. This is kind of just a little extra if you guys want to get some practice and really kind of learn your rifle. You can go pick any class you want, pick anything you want, and you can get comfortable with it shooting at range.
Hey T-Rod, do you want to turn Valency back on and flip the map first before we do that?
And I might be able to help give you guys a few little tips and tricks to also help with your aim from a real life standpoint. In real life as a hobby, I'm not like any operator or military friggin' special forces kind of nut or anything. I am just a avid shooter, a sports shooter. I like going to the range and plinking some targets off, and you know, I own firearms, etc. So there's a few real life things that you can do that you can work on actually in game that will help you. And I'm going to show you a couple of those right now. One obviously was like what I talked about before, like when you're walking around, just never look where you're not aiming your gun. So always looking at the very center of your screen with your eyeballs like locked onto that spot, and anything you want to look at, that's where you aim. So we're going to see here, yeah, let's go right to about there where the airhead's going. Air, do you already switch classes? Or yeah,
air to switch classes? I can switch classes.
Oh,
Sure.
no. Well, yeah, air if you want to switch class, and you said you want to practice with a couple of rifles, so go ahead and
No,
switch
that
if
was
you
somebody
want.
else, but
Oh, okay.
That was me, MASH.
Oh, my bad. So many damn voices, my bad.
You're
yeah,
good,
thanks.
You're good.
Thank you, Stu, for heading down there.
there's an airhead down there too. You can just deploy on that.
I need practice with the MG and then just
Unfortunately,
shooting
since we don't have the server locked, they're gonna take cattle sheds and hopefully not take winters before we can get through at least a few people getting down there.
Does any of this discussion change when we're using pistols?
No, actually.
Okay.
Basically, I mean, pistols, you can still pull some ridiculous shots. I popped around the corner on Foy the other day and domed somebody about 100 meters with my 1911. One tapped. So if you learn to drop on the pistol, you can be deadly as fuck with that too, if you got your aim right. right about there, like 9 meters shy of that mark is cool. And right to the middle of the road if you can, Stoopy. Alright, yeah, you should be right. No. Are you only? Where are you, Stoop? No, no.
He's right there. He's
yeah,
right
no.
where you put your mark.
No, the move marker, Stoop.
Can't see
No.
the move marker.
Oh, shit.
He's not in the squad. I can do it since I'm in the squad.
Yeah, Commander Observe. Yeah, there you go. That move mark. Yeah, that's why. That's why I was going to use Commander before, but we're good. Okay. A little bit further, Stoop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. All right, that's 295. That's not bad. Okay, so when you want to shoot, you're going to be tempted to kind of like, when you're looking, you're tempted to try to push your, when you're focusing on a target, you're trying to focus your eyes in and you look at the target and you look where you want to hit and you try to move your crosshair onto the target. This is going to cause a lot of problems. Basically what you want to do, and this works in real life, when you aim up, you can see what's going on in the background, but I'm still looking at my front sight reticle. Like, I focus hard, like you focus your vision, you want to look at the chip paint on the front of your friggin' post reticle, and you bring that over your target, and you focus on that, not your target. And yeah, are you gonna stay still so I can shoot you real quick, effectively here?
Want to return fire.
All right, so like I said, you focus in. Now, there's a reason behind this. Now, if I go in and I focus on the target, stoop behind, and I'm like focused on him trying to get his movements, subconsciously when I go to aim, even at that last second, I'm trying to push the aiming reticle off of him so I can see the target. You know where he is. You put that reticle over him and you fire. Missed the first one. I was a little bit high, I believe, or a little bit to the right.
You were right.
Yeah, okay. So, but that's how you can zone in on it. What you want to do is you don't want to look at your target. You obviously look, you're kind of using your peripheral, so you're focused in on your front reticle sight. If you're focused in on that, then you put that exactly where you want it, and you're not fighting with your subconscious mind, which is trying to draw that off of the target so you can see it, because you're trying to look at the target. Your subconscious mind is like, I can't see it, and tries to move what you have blocking your the view of your target. So focus on your front post sight, and you'll have to adjust for range from there. But yeah, go ahead and practice at getting comfortable at range with being able to engage people.
Can you put down OP?
I talked to the other team
Yeah,
and told
sure.
them we were gonna focus him.
Okay. But yeah, this right here, like I said, this is anything we should probably do even as a fun thing as a group. Once in a while, we should just come in and have fun shooting each other at the minimum engagement range of 300 meters. And you can push it up to 500 meters too if you want. If you learn the ballistics, you can take those shots. It's not hard. But yeah. So we can totally break. The training is over unless anybody has any other questions. I really don't have much else to add. So thanks for watching on the stream.
This has been great. Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you,
no
Double.
problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, not a problem, guys.
Yeah, respawn in 10 seconds.
So how did you arrive at like 800 being the DPI of preference? Is that just from trying the different ones to see what suits you?
Check.
I think, yeah, preference on whatever suits you is the best. For me personally, my mouse has 3 DPI settings that I can regular, but if I